Go ahead and find your tall seat. If you'd like to, sit onto a towel, a blanket, and our blanket reminder, if my microphone cuts out, I cannot do a whole lot about it. I'm afraid if it permanently cuts out, I'll pull it, but usually it's back on within a minute or two. Find your tall seat with the hands onto the knees, hands onto the legs. And we'll find our tall spine and start to observe what's going on with the breath right now. What input we've taken in throughout the day and the week. Notice how you're feeling. Notice where you're feeling it. Perhaps there's a sense of unrest or unease. Notice where this comes up for you. Perhaps there's a sense of scatteredness. Taking in all of the information, deciding what we're doing with it, choosing how we will act with our new information. For this next hour or so, let your awareness rest on a couple things. The breath, your movement, your intention, but especially your presence here and now. Knowing that right here, right now, you are showing up for yourself. And by showing up for yourself, showing up for others. Allowing this time to be beneficial in whatever way you are needing it. If you need more calm, if you need more energy, if you need more peace, if you need just a moment to slow down, let this be that time. Setting an intention for your practice based on how you feel. What would the remedy or antidote be? What could help you have a better, more optimal rest of your day? What would help you to move into your weekend? Wording this intention in a way that can be positive, present, and actionable. I breathe, or I am breathing. I am peaceful. I am motivated. I am strong. I can do challenging things. Whatever your intention may be. Letting this inspire how you move and your feeling toward the end of the practice. Bowing your head to your chest to seal in your intention. Blinking the eyes open, taking the head up. From here, please shift onto your back. We'll set up for a dynamic bridge pose. Bringing some energy into the spine, opening through the shoulders. In a direction we don't always lift the arms. Feet about hip width apart. As you inhale, raise the hips, raise the arms. Arms land around either side of the head as the hips reach their highest point. As you exhale, release spine, hips, and arms all back to the floor. Inhale, raise the hips, raise the arms, lifting to dynamic bridge. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to raise up. Exhale, release. Landing, take the arms out to the sides, T-shape or goalpost shape. Walk the feet a little wider than the hips toward mat width. As you exhale, release the knees to the left. Right knee can hang toward the floor, just below left hip perhaps. Inhale, point the knees up. And release the knees to the right. Left knee can hang toward right foot, toward the floor. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, knees to the left. Point the knees up. And knees to the right. Point the knees back up, please. Walk the feet back toward hip width and hug both knees up into the chest. Keep the left knee into the chest, lower spine anchoring toward the floor. Be aware of the slight strength at the front of the navel, keeping this lower spine curve supported. As you inhale, extend the right leg out in front of you. Flex the right footprint away. Only lower the heel as much as we can keep the lower spine to the floor. As you exhale, bring the right knee back into the chest. Left leg, inhale, extend out, foot flexed away. Exhale, back in. Right leg, inhale, extend out. Exhale to chest. Left leg, extend out. Exhale, back in. From here, plant the left footprint to the floor. Extend the left leg down the length of the mat. We're not at that part yet. Cross the right leg over toward the left side of your mat as well, coming into a reclined twist. And we are early in our practice, so do not worry if the right knee is not touching the floor. Mine certainly is not. Bring the right knee back up toward the ceiling, anchor the right hip. Dynamically again, exhale, left hand helps guide the right knee across the body, across the mat. Inhale, anchor the right hip, point the right knee back up. Exhale, across the body. Inhale, let the right hip land, point the right knee back up. And we'll take the left knee back into the chest. Now with this rocking, we may have shifted the hips, the shoulders, where we are landing. Go ahead and shift back to the middle if we need to. And inhale, extend the right leg out. Let it land, please. Taking the left knee over left hip so it might move away from the chest. Use the right hand, help guide left knee across the body. Again, the knee does not have to land. It would be probably more ideal for the hips to stack. Let this be our focus here, not getting the knee to the floor. Inhale, point the left knee back up over left hip. Exhale, right arm brings the left knee across the body. Inhale, back up. Exhale across. Point up. And hug right knee, both knees back into the chest. Again, shift if the pelvis has moved at all. Planting the left footprint to the floor now, cross right ankle over left thigh. Guide the right knee away from you, coming into figure 4. We can stay active with the legs, arms passively around the head, or down to the sides, or right arm threads through the legs, holding on to left hamstring or left shin. And release the left foot and the right foot back to the floor. Please cross the left ankle over the top of the right thigh. Guide the left knee away. Picking up right foot, right knee toward right shoulder. Left knee still actively away if you'd like. Again, leaving the arms at the sides, keeping the legs active. Or let the hands help right knee more toward right shoulder, making it more passive, more stretchy into the hips. And please release right foot and left foot back to the floor. We'll take another round of bridge, this time static, leaving the arms down at the sides. Inhale to raise hip points, hip creases coming up to bridge pose. Still breathing here. Glutes and hamstrings are active to help with that hip extension. Hip creases, tops of the legs lifting toward the ceiling. And release the spine and the hips back to the floor. Hug the knees into the chest, please. Rocking a little side to side. Roll onto one side and we'll come up onto hands and knees. Making your way into tabletop. A little more core activation to begin. Hands below shoulders, knees below hips. As you inhale, just extend the right leg straight back behind you. Navel stays strong so we're not back bending and lifting higher than the hip. Release the right knee back to the floor. Left leg, inhale, extend out, straight back. Exhale, release. Inhale, right leg, extend back behind. This time, round, hug the knee into the chest, rounding like a cat pose. Inhale, right leg back out. Again, no back bend, navel stays strong. Release right knee to the floor. Left leg, inhale, extend back, foot flex behind. Exhale, round, knee toward the nose, navel scoops under. Inhale, back. Release the left knee to the floor. Now, please extend the right leg back behind you. Ground the toes, ground the ball of the foot. As you exhale, press the right toes into the floor. Hug the left knee away from the floor, just a minor hover. Inhale, release left knee back to the floor. Keep the shape we're in. Exhale, right foot presses in to lift the left knee. Inhale, release. Exhale, hug left knee off the floor. Inhale, release. And release right knee back to the ground. Switch sides, left foot. Left toes plant back behind. 3 times, exhale, press the left toes, hug right knee off the ground. Inhale, release. Exhale, hug right knee away from the floor. Inhale, release. Exhale, hug away. And release. Let the left knee land to the floor. Cow pose. Inhale, lift the chest. If our stance needs to change, go ahead and shift where the hands and knees are. Cat pose. Exhale, round. Hug the navel up and under. Inhale, back to cow pose. Tuck the toes. Make your way back to downward facing dog, please. And we can change where the feet are. We can walk them closer to the hands, farther away, or even wider from left to right. On your inhale, extend right leg back to 3-legged dog, similar to from hands and knees. And as you exhale, round right knee forward. Shift the shoulders forwards over the wrists. Inhale, back up, 3-legged dog. Down dog, release to the floor. Left leg, inhale, extend back, 3 legs. Exhale, round, knee toward the nose. Inhale, back up. And down dog. Knees to the floor, cow pose, lift the chest. Child's pose, hips back toward heels. Walk the hands over to the left side of your mat, please. Reach long from right hip to right hand. And walk the hands over to the right, curve long through the whole left side of the body. Walk the hands back to the center, child's pose. Inhale forwards to cow pose, lift the chest. Cat pose, exhale round, navel under. Back to cow pose. Tuck the toes, back to down dog. After your exhale, walk, step, or hop forwards. Come into a half lift at the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, hands overhead. And take the hands to heart center. Take the feet to about hip width for chair pose. Inhale, raise the arms up overhead. Sit the hips back, fold the pinky fingers to the floor for half chair. Keep the hips back. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the arms. Hands to heart center, deepen back slightly. Inhale, raise all the way up. Regular forward fold, exhale. Inhale, half lift. Fold, plant the hands, step back to a plank or a kneeling plank. Stay to breathe here. So we can stay to the hands, or if you come to the knees, notice that this may bring your shoulders behind the wrists. If we set down to the knees, walk them forwards a little bit. And as you exhale, take the shoulders forwards towards the fingertips. Lower all the way down to the floor. 3 times. Inhale, draw the shoulder blades down the back. Lift the chest for low cobra. Exhale, release toward the floor. Inhale, low cobra, curl up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, release. Press through knees or toes. Move back to down dog. After your exhale, walk, step, or hop forwards. Half lift the top of the mat. Forward fold, and we'll come into chair pose from the floor. Sit the hips back. Inhale, lift the chest and the arms as we did before. Hands to heart center. Inhale, stand all the way up. Interlace the last 3 fingers, pointers up. Point up and over to the left side, curve similar to what we took in our child's pose. Still breathing, staying here. Inhale to point up. Exhale, point up and over to the right, breathing here. Inhale, point back up, back to half chair, hips sit back, pinky fingers toward the floor. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the arms, chair pose, hands to heart, deep and back. Inhale, raise all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Fold, plant the hands, move back to plank or kneeling plank. Your choice of vinyasa, but keep in mind, move the shoulders forward so the elbows can lower you about 90 degrees. Inhale, low cobra or up dog. Exhale, back to down dog. After your exhale, walk, step, or hop forwards. Half lift at the top of the mat. Forward fold. Sitting the hips back. Inhale, raise the chest and the arms to chair. Hands to heart center, sit back. Inhale, raise all the way up. Interlace last 3 fingers, pointers up. Point up and over to the left, pardon, right first, please. I even looked in that direction. Breathing long as we reach to the right. Inhale, point up, and point up and over to the left. Inhale, point up. Hands to heart center. Shift your weight into the left leg. Bend right knee up toward the height of the hip. Single leg stance, breathing here. Try to lift the chest tall so we're not leaning back in order to raise the right leg. Extend the right leg back, torso forward toward warrior 3. Lots of dynamic movements today. Inhale, lift the right knee back up toward the height of the hip, stand tall. Exhale, right leg back, torso forwards. Inhale, lift up. Ooh. Exhale, extend back once more. Inhale, raise up. Toe taps are fine. Release the right foot back to the floor. Shift your weight into right leg. Same thing, other side. Inhale to lift the left knee. Exhale, warrior 3. Notice the breath moving with your movement. Inhale, bend the left knee up, moving with purpose as we breathe. Exhale, warrior 3. Inhale, lift up, bend the left knee. Warrior 3, exhale. Bend the left knee up. And release the left foot to the floor, honoring all of our wobbles. Shift your weight into the left foot again, please, and take the hands to the hips. Step back with the right leg for crescent lunge. So a long enough stance, but try to draw the navel back away from the top of the left thigh. So we're not back bending into it, but really creating a fold through the left hip, extension through right hip. Left hand stays to the left hip. Raise the right arm up overhead. As you exhale, reach up and over to the left. Leaning back slightly, breathing through right hip flexor, front of the right quad, maybe outside of the hip. We all might feel this a little differently. Inhale, raise both arms up overhead. Twisting, please. Right arm forward, left arm behind. Breathing here. And breathing with as much purpose as we were when we were moving each half of the breath. Next inhale, heart forwards, lift the arms. Ground the right heel, open hips and chest to warrior two. Straighten the left knee. Exhale, reach forwards, right hip stays open, but it can look toward the front of the mat. We don't have to be between two panes of glass. Right arm lifts up over the shoulders, right ribs draw back. Exhale, navel strong. Think of inhaling length into extended limbs in the spine. Exhale, collect this energy back to our strong navel. Bend into the left knee. Inhale, reverse warrior. Left arm lifts, right hand could find right leg. And spiral the hands down around left foot. Take the fingertips forwards, and we can step the right foot forwards a little bit to give ourselves more of a chance to stand up into the left leg. Half warrior three, right leg back behind. And release the right foot to forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Raise all the way up, hands overhead. Hands to heart center. Return your hands to your hips, please. And step your left leg back to crescent lunge. We can adjust our stance once we get there, finding our wobbles. And again, navel away from the top of the right thigh. Keeping right hand to right hip, lift the left arm up. Exhale, reach up and over to the right and slightly back, really targeting front of left hip, left side. Inhale, both arms back up overhead, twisting left arm forward, right arm behind, breathing here. Head can stay straight to the right, or if you'd like, perhaps turn back toward right shoulder or right thumb. Heart forwards, lift the arms up. Ground the left heel, open hips and chest toward the left. Arms down into warrior two. Straightening the right knee, coming into triangle pose. Exhale, reach forwards. Take the hand down to the shin, ankle, or ground. Left ribs in, navel back. As arms and spine expand outwards with inhale. Please bend back into the right knee. Inhale, reverse warrior. Left hand toward left leg. Right arm lifts up. And exhale, spiral the hands down around right foot. Again, we can shorten the stance so we can stand up into the right leg instead of jumping into the right leg. Press the right foot to lift the left leg. Breathing here. Half warrior three. And release left foot, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Raise all the way up, hands overhead. Hands to heart center. Take hands to hips, please, and step back with the right leg, coming into a wide leg stance. Inhale the arms out to the sides. We'll take a dynamic twist variation. So we will twist opposite hand to foot. Do this 3 times each, and then on their 4th one, we will stay. Exhale, right hand twist toward left foot. Hug the navel in as we twist. Legs still strong. Bend the knees if you need to. Stand up. Exhale, twist left hand toward right foot. Inhale, lift up. A few more times on your own, your breath, your speed. One more each. And the next time we take right hand to left foot, stay to breathe here. Do make sure the shoulders can begin to stack over the right wrist. Left arm lifting, left hip sitting back. So we're not trying to shift through the hips, but twist through the spine. Now, give the weight back to the legs. Now that we've been here a minute, the right arm may be doing more than its share of the work. Inhale, stand up. And twist left hand toward right foot. Right arm lifted up over the shoulders. Hips stay fairly level so we can bring the twist into the spine instead of just shifting the direction of the pelvis. Weight back into the legs. Inhale, stand back up. And from here, interlace the hands behind the back or grab a strap, towel, maybe a sock between the hands, pressing the hands back to help open the chest. Hinge at the hips to take our wide leg bound forward fold. Hands raising up away from the back of the pelvis, away from the space between the shoulder blades. Inhale, please come back up to a wide leg half lift, spine and legs strong on their own. Take the hands to the front of the hips, little bend in the knees if they're hyperextended, and stand all the way back up. From here, rotate left toes to the front of the mat. We'll come into warrior two again. We may need to step the right foot wider, angled through the foot so that the hip faces forwards. Arms lift up to warrior two, breathing here. And notice if we're leaning forwards, if we're leaning back, if the right hip is kind of clunked back to the side, really try to scoop the pelvis underneath the abdomen and stay strong. As you exhale, take the left elbow onto the left thigh and raise right arm either straight up over the shoulders like we did in our twist, or extend the right arm up and out in line with the right leg, the back leg. Strong, long line of energy from right foot to right hand. Legs strong. Stand up into a standing star pose. Toes in front of the heels, hands up at the corners. Return the hands to the hips. Rotate to the other side, right knee, right toes to the back of the mat. We can adjust where the left heel is. Heels can be in their own lanes. Lifting the arms up. Bend into the right knee for warrior two. Again, check in. Where are the hips? Where's the navel? Tall through the spine. And as you exhale, take right elbow onto right thigh, left arm either straight up over the shoulders or extend forwards in line with left leg. And legs strong, same as before. Inhale, stand up to our strong standing star pose. Toes in front of heels, hands up to the corners. Interlace hands behind the back, but awkward grip. Opposite thumb on top. It might feel strange. Open the chest and the shoulders. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. On your inhale, come back up to a wide leg half lift. Pivot left toes wider than left heel. Getting ready for Skandasana, our side lunge. Now, if sinking the hips toward the heel is not comfortable, go ahead and stay into our side lunge and elevated. Maybe we start to adjust where the feet are. Perhaps we start to get a little bit lower, but do make sure we're not collapsing. The knee isn't cranking in, that the knee stays wide, elbow helping it wide, like our Malasana, our yogi squat. So again, here, or maybe we're a little more lifted here, pressing down and out with the left arm. And we'll switch sides. We can walk or stand through the middle, pivot right toes wide of right heel, Skandasana this side. So either sinking down, keeping the right knee wide, pressing out wide with the arm inside, or ground the left foot, take more of a standing variation, continuing to externally rotate through right hip, pressing it wide, sitting the hips back so we're not in a side angle. Hips are still back behind, more to the adductor, the inside seam, inside muscles of the leg. And pivot back through the middle, wide leg half lift, spine strong here. Take the hands to the front of the hips and stand all the way up. Shift your weight into the left foot. Go ahead and step up back to the top of the mat. Hands to heart center. We're back to closed hips. We did a lot of external rotation. Let's do a chair pose with the feet and legs toward one another instead of hip width. Inhale, arms up overhead. Hands to heart center, sitting back to chair. Sitting, staying, breathing here. So the more we sit the hips back, trying to not bend the knees forwards, the more we might feel like we're about ready to fall back or sit back. Toes may float a little bit. And legs strong. Inhale all the way up, hands overhead, back bend, goalpost back bend, elbows wide. Exhale, open the chest. Inhale, raise up, keep the chest lifted here. Take the arms and try to grab the elbows behind the back. If that is not comfortable, we can interlace the hands instead, or we can take hands to rib cage or hips and point the elbows back behind. From here, shifting weight to the left. Mike's cutting and I'm standing, so I'm just going to talk at you a little louder. Shift your weight into the left leg. Turn the right heel into left ankle. Coming up into tree pose with the chest lifted. You can even press the forearms into the mid-back to help keep our lift. And release right foot back to the floor. Shift your weight into right foot, right leg. Turn the left heel inside right ankle. Or if you'd like, bring the foot up inside right calf for our tree pose. A little different variation with the arms today. So usually we take the hands forwards without knowing it. Sometimes we start to scrunch around the chest forwards. Keeping the arms back helps keep that lift into the chest. But it may seem harder because the muscles aren't used to the shape. And release the left foot to the floor. Go ahead and release the arms. See what our mic's doing here again. Hi, Renee. All right. Feet to hip. Hands to heart center. And step back to your right foot. Warrior one. Inhale the arms up overhead. And take the arms wide and release hands again behind the back like we had done before. Open the chest and the shoulders. Humble warrior folding. Release the hands down around left foot. Pyramid pose. Move the hips. Folding over left leg for pyramid. the chest away from the left thigh. Right hand inside left arch. Revolve triangle. Left hand to hip. Or turn open, extend the left arm up to the ceiling if you'd like. Release the left hand to the floor. We'll take the stance a little longer, bringing left hand inside left foot, extending the right arm up, coming into side angle from the floor. Right arm lifted up over the shoulders or extended forward long through the right side. Release the right hand to the floor, back into runner's lunge. Step the right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Raise all the way up, hands overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands to the hips. Step back to the left leg. Warrior one. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, take the arms wide, interlace hands, open chest and shoulders. Exhale, fold over right leg, humble warrior. And release the hands down around right foot. Move the hips back, folding over right leg, pyramid pose. Lift the chest away from the right leg. Plant the left hand inside right foot. Right hand to hip, roll the chest open, coming into revolve triangle. And release the right hand to the floor. Slide the left leg back. Ground the left heel to the floor still, bringing right hand inside right arch. Lifting left arm up toward the ceiling or extending forward long through whole left side. Release the left hand to the floor. Come back into runner's lunge. Step the left foot forwards, back to forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Raise all the way up, hands overhead. Hands to heart center. Shift your weight back into the left leg. Last standing pose here before we make it to the floor. Weight into the left leg. Bend the right knee up toward the height of the hip. Extend right leg back toward warrior three, torso forward, staying here unlike the beginning. Releasing the hands down to the floor, either onto the floor itself or if you'd like, perhaps taking something a little taller underneath the left hand. Having the hand or block farther out in front of you so that we can keep the spine its normal length. Begin to open right hip over left, lifting through the outside of right hip, outside of right leg. Right arm can extend up over the shoulders, breathing here. And close the hips, right toes back toward the floor. Let the right hand and right foot land. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. If we used a block or a prop, maybe move it in front of the right foot. Stand all the way up, hands overhead, hands to heart center. Shift your weight into right foot, right leg. Bend the left knee up toward the height of the hip. Left leg back, torso forward, warrior 3. Release the hands to the floor and perhaps take the right hand onto a prop so it's a little more lifted. Allowing a lift in the hand allows for the shoulder to be a little higher, allows for the spine to be more lifted instead of lowering crooked toward the floor. Left arm lifted up over shoulders. We can continue to look at the floor or toward the left side. And inhale, half warrior 3 once again. Lower left hand, lower left foot. We can set the block off to the side. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back to plank or kneeling plank. Lower all the way down, landing. Coming into shoulder roll, please take the right arm out to the side, straight out or goalpost. Roll onto right hip, right side body. Left knee can point up and back, left arm could reach up and back, or we can keep them both to the ground, helping to twist open, but staying mostly on the right side. Rolling back onto the chest, switch sides please. Left arm out, straight out or goal post. And roll on to the left side. Right limbs could reach back or stay. And please roll back onto the front of the body, walking elbows and forearms forwards into Sphinx pose, building into an upper back bend. Staying here to the arms, the forearms, and the elbows, or if you'd like, build taller onto the hands, lifting into a deeper expression of this pose. You're welcome to stay here. If we decide we liked the other one better, we can certainly come back down. I'm going to today. Releasing back onto the chest, take the hands around the rib cage and make your way into a wide leg child's pose, please. Knees wider than hips in rib cage, allowing the torso to rest on or between the knees. Forehead can rest, or if it does not rest nicely, we can stack the hands or forearms underneath forehead. Pardon me. Rebuild back up onto the hands and the knees. Please return onto your back for a last bridge pose. Feet to about hip width will stay static this time, not dynamic. And arms can stay at the sides. Ground through the feet and the shoulders. As you inhale, lift just the hips, raising through hip points, hip creases, breathing here. And just like when we alternated knees to chest, navel draws back slightly. And release spine and hips back to the floor, hugging the knees into the chest, giving the legs a squeeze. And taking the arms out to the sides, T-shape or goalpost shape. Release the knees to the left. This time, both knees and staying. Left arm can help anchor the legs as the head turns to the right. Pressing the left arm into the ground, take the knees back up and release the knees to the right, adjusting where the hips land if you'd like. Right arm can anchor the legs as head turns to the left. And pressing the right hand into the ground, taking the knees back up, hug the knees to the chest, adding on any additional shapes or poses you would like to feel comfortable and ready to release for Shavasana. Legs down the length of the mat, arms at the sides, or finding whatever shape is most comfortable for you. And be aware of the stillness we can arrive at within the body, physical body and mind. Adjust the shoulders and the arms so that we are as comfortable as we can be. Observe where the back of the right hand rests, softening right palm, relaxing through the fingers, observing the shape of right hand. Observe where right forearm rests, right elbow. Relax through upper arm, right shoulder blade. Observe the left hand, left palm, relaxed fingers. Soften through the forearm. Aware of the elbow, left upper arm. Soft through left shoulder blade. Feel the breath expand and release into chest and rib cage. And breathe down into the navel. Allow the abdomen to rise and fall. And be aware of where the hips and the legs rest. aware of the soles of both feet. Relax through the toes, the arches. Aware of where the calves land, where the knees are, the backs of the knees perhaps not landing. Observe upper legs, the glutes, the back of the pelvis, and where they land. Observe the breath at navel center, subtle rise and fall. Expansion and release at navel. Releasing into complete stillness, or if you'd prefer, continue to let your awareness rest with the breath at the navel or at the chest, whichever feels more comforting or more appropriate for your intention. Return to the intention you had set at the beginning of your practice, repeating it in the mind, feeling it through whole body. Expanding breath and awareness back through whole body, aware of the trunk of the body, where it rests, how it changes as you breathe. Aware of the arms and the legs, the hands, the feet. Start to move the fingers and the toes. And bend the ankles and the wrists. Let the head rock from side to side. Bend the elbows. Walk the feet back to hug the knees to the chest. Give the legs a squeeze. When you're ready, gently rolling to one side or rolling up into a seat, finding our tall spine from the beginning of our practice. Feeling where hips and legs rest, hands onto the knees or the tops of the legs. Noticing again where we feel the breath in the body, what moves, what changes, where you would feel your intention in the body. Perhaps it's whole body, heart, navel, or head. Taking your intention and your practice with you into the rest of your day, into your weekend. Coming back to any piece of your practice, any movement, any intention, any focus or awareness whenever you'd like. Please bring the palms together at heart center, bowing your head to your chest, acknowledging your breath, your peace, and all that you are. Namaste. Hi guys, thanks for practicing with me today. If you'd like to see more videos, if you'd perhaps like to see more of Miko's arm being shoved under the door, I'll link a couple right here. I'll link my page. I'll link the most recent series or video. And subscribe if you'd like to let yourself know when I put out a new video. What do you think, Miko? Do you think that's a good idea? I think that's a good idea.